9:17 p.m. Her text arrives like clockwork. Working late at the office conference. Don't wait up tonight. Same excuse, same pathetic emoji. But this time, I'm ready. My name is Tom Forrest, and I've been fixing cars for 22 years in this godforsaken suburb called Sunset Heights. Used to be upscale, now it's just another decaying neighborhood where people pretend their lives aren't falling apart. The irony isn't lost on me. I spend my days fixing broken things, but I couldn't see my own marriage crumbling right under my nose. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. The garage smells like motor oil and disappointment tonight. I'm elbow deep in a '98 Mustang's engine when I hear Erica's phone buzz from the kitchen. That familiar ping that's been haunting our house for months. My wife of 19 years, the successful lawyer who used to laugh at my jokes and actually meant it when she said she loved me. I wipe my hands on an old rag and walk inside. The house feels different now, colder, like the warmth got sucked out through the cracks in our foundation. Erica's standing by the kitchen island, her blonde hair perfectly styled even at this hour, wearing that black dress that used to drive me crazy. Now it just makes me suspicious. Conference again? I ask, keeping my voice steady. She doesn't even look up from her phone. You know how it is, big case coming up. Right, the Henderson merger, except that wrapped up 3 weeks ago. Now she looks at me, those green eyes I fell in love with now calculating and cold. It's complicated, Tom. You wouldn't understand. There it is, the condescension that's become her default tone with me. The blue-collar husband who couldn't possibly grasp the complexities of her important legal work. Never mind that I built a successful auto shop from nothing, that I put her through law school, that I raised our daughter while she climbed the corporate ladder. Try me, I say. She sighs dramatically. It's a new client, corporate restructuring. Very sensitive. I know her tells, the way she touches her earring when she's lying, the slight upturn in her voice when she's trying too hard to sound convincing. 23 years together, and she thinks I'm too stupid to notice. What's his name? I ask. Whose name? The client. A pause. Just a heartbeat too long. Miller Industries. Jake Miller is the CEO. Jake Miller. The name she's been dropping casually into conversations for the past 3 months. Her colleague at the firm. The consultant who's supposedly helping with some mysterious project that requires so many late-night meetings. Well, don't let me keep you from your important work, I say. She kisses my cheek, a perfunctory peck that feels like a betrayal in itself, and grabs her keys. I'll probably be very late. Don't wait up. The door closes behind her, and I'm alone with the truth I've been avoiding for weeks. My wife is cheating on me. Not just emotionally, not just some harmless flirtation. Full-blown, sneaking around, lying to my face, cheating. I walk to the window and watch her BMW pull out of the driveway. Then I do something I never thought I'd do. I grab her iPad from the kitchen counter. We share an Apple ID, something she set up years ago and apparently forgot about in her excitement to start screwing around. The messages load immediately. Jake. Can't wait to see you tonight. Wear the black dress. Erica. Already am. Tom suspects nothing. Jake. Good. Room 237 at the Marriott. I'll be waiting. Erica. On my way. God, I need this. My hands shake as I scroll through weeks of messages. Explicit photos, detailed plans, conversations about how boring I am, how she deserves better, how she's thinking about leaving me but wants to have her fun first. There's more, so much more. Jake bragging about nailing a partner's wife, Erica complaining about my pathetic attempts at romance, both of them laughing about how easy it is to fool the dumb mechanic. I set the iPad down carefully, like it might explode. My reflection stares back at me from the black screen, 44 years old, graying at the temples, laugh lines that aren't laughing anymore. When did I become invisible in my own life? The smart thing would be to call a lawyer, file for divorce, split everything down the middle and try to salvage some dignity. But as I stand in my kitchen, surrounded by the life we built together, I realize I don't want to be smart. I want revenge. The next morning, I'm installing a dash cam in Erica's BMW. She's already left for work. Actually work this time, I checked her calendar, so I have the garage to myself. The camera is tiny, barely visible behind the rearview mirror. Professional grade, motion activated, with a direct feed to my phone. You're playing a dangerous game, Tommy. I look up to see Big Mike standing in the doorway. Mike Kowalski owns the boxing gym downtown and used to be a cop before he retired. He's 6'4", built like a brick wall, and one of the few people in this town I still trust. Morning, Mike. Just installing some security. He walks closer, examining my handiwork. For her car? She's been worried about break-ins at the office. Mike gives me a look that says he knows exactly what kind of security I'm really installing. You sure about this? I climb out from under the dashboard. You ever been married, Mike? 26 years before cancer took her. Then you know, when someone breaks the rules, the game changes. He nods slowly. Just don't do anything stupid. Prison orange isn't your color. After Mike leaves, I sync Erica's phone to my iCloud account. It's surprisingly easy when you know someone's passwords, when you've watched them type the same 4 digits 1,000 times without thinking about it. 0724, Sammy's birthday. My daughter. 19 years old, home from college for winter break, completely oblivious to the fact that her family is disintegrating. She worships her mother, thinks I'm just the grumpy dad who doesn't understand her generation. If she knew what Erica was doing. I push that thought away. Sammy doesn't need to be part of this. Not yet. My phone buzzes with a notification. Erica's location has changed. She's not at the law firm. She's at the Riverside Mall, specifically at Victoria's Secret. 30 minutes later, I'm parked across from the lingerie store, watching my wife shop for underwear she'll never wear for me. She emerges with 2 bags and a smile I haven't seen in months. The same smile she used to give me when we were dating, when she actually wanted me. She drives to a coffee shop next. Not our usual place. This is across town, somewhere she thinks she won't be recognized. But Sunset Heights is smaller than people think, and I know the owner. I wait until she's inside, then walk in myself. She's at a corner table back to the door, talking to someone I can't see. I order a black coffee and find a seat with a clear view. Jake Miller is everything I'm not. Tall, perfectly groomed, wearing a suit that probably costs more than I make in a month. He's got that corporate smoothness that women seem to find attractive, all flash and no substance. The kind of guy who's never had grease under his fingernails or worried about making payroll. I can't hear their conversation, but I can see the body language. The way she leans forward when he talks. The way she touches his hand across the table. The way she laughs, actually laughs at something he says. They're planning something. I can tell by the way they keep checking their phones, comparing schedules. Another rendezvous, another lie for her to tell me. My coffee tastes like ash, but I force myself to drink it. To sit there and watch my wife flirt with another man in public, bold as brass, not caring who might see. The humiliation burns worse than the caffeine. They leave separately, professional to the end. Erica gets in her BMW and heads back to the office. Jake climbs into a silver Porsche, of course it's a Porsche, and drives toward downtown. I follow him. Jake's office is in one of those glass towers that sprouted up during the tech boom. Miller Consulting, according to the directory. I do some quick research on my phone while sitting in the parking garage. Turns out Jake Miller isn't quite the hotshot he pretends to be. His company is struggling. 3 lawsuits in the past year, mostly from clients claiming he overcharged for substandard work. His Porsche is leased, his office is shared with 2 other failing consultants, and his LinkedIn profile is full of buzzwords that don't actually mean anything. He's a fraud. a smooth-talking con man who saw my successful wife as a meal ticket, and she fell for it. But that's not the worst part. The worst part is what I find when I dig deeper into his background. Jake Miller has done this before. Twice. 2 other marriages destroyed, 2 other husbands left picking up the pieces while Jake moved on to his next conquest. My wife isn't special. She's just another mark. The rage that fills me then is unlike anything I've ever felt. It's cold and calculating and patient. It's the kind of anger that doesn't explode. It plans. I drive home and start making lists. Lori's Tavern sits on the wrong side of Sunset Heights, where the suburban pretense gives way to honest working-class grit. The neon sign flickers, half the letters burned out, but the beer is cold and the gossip is hot. It's exactly the kind of place Erica would never be caught dead in, which makes it perfect for my purposes. You look like hell, Tommy. Lori Martinez slides a beer across the scarred wooden bar. She's worked here for 15 years, knows everyone's business, and has a memory like a steel trap. Thanks. You always know just what to say to make a man feel better. She laughs, a raspy sound from too many cigarettes. What's eating you? And don't say nothing. I can smell trouble on a man from 50 yards. I take a long drink, considering how much to tell her. Lori's discreet when she needs to be, but she's also the town's unofficial information broker. Tell her something, and it'll spread through Sunset Heights like wildfire. Maybe that's exactly what I need. Hypothetically, I say, if someone's wife was cheating on them, and that someone wanted to make sure the whole town knew what kind of woman she really was, how would that someone go about it? Lori's eyes light up with interest. Hypothetically? Completely hypothetical. She leans closer, lowering her voice even though we're the only ones in the bar. Well, hypothetically, that someone would want to be very careful about how they handled things. Can't just go around making accusations without proof. What if that someone had proof? What kind of proof? I show her a screenshot from Erica's phone. Nothing too explicit, just enough to make the situation clear. Lori's eyebrows shoot up. Holy shit, Tommy, is that... Hypothetically. She studies the image more carefully. Jake Miller? That sleazy piece of garbage? I've seen him in here bragging about his conquests. Always figured he was full of it. What kind of bragging? Lori glances around, making sure we're still alone. Couple weeks ago, he was in here with some buddies, drunk off his ass, talking about how he was educating some uptight lawyer lady, said she was married to some loser mechanic who didn't know how to satisfy a woman. The beer bottle creaks in my grip. He said that? Word for word, even showed pictures. The room tilts slightly. Pictures? Nothing too graphic. Just her in some fancy restaurant looking all dolled up. But the way he was talking about her... Lori shakes her head. Made my skin crawl. I force myself to stay calm. Who else heard this? Maybe 6, 7 guys, including Danny Reeves and Pat Morrison. Danny and Pat. 2 of my oldest friends, guys I've known since high school. Guys who've been acting weird around me lately, avoiding eye contact, cutting conversations short. Now I know why. They've known about Erica's affair for weeks, and they didn't tell me. Thanks, Lori. I owe you one. Tommy, wait. She grabs my arm as I stand to leave. Whatever you're planning, be smart about it. That woman's got connections and Jake Miller's got money. Don't give them any ammunition to use against you. I nod and head for the door, but her words follow me out into the cold night air. She's right, of course. I need to be careful. But I also need to be thorough. The next stop is Big Mike's gym. It's after hours, but I know he'll still be there. Mike never leaves before 10, always finds some excuse to stick around and avoid going home to his empty house. I find him in the office, going over receipts and muttering about the electric bill. The gym smells like sweat and determination, 2 things that seem to be in short supply in my life lately. Twice in 2 days, he says without looking up. This must be serious. I close the door behind me and take a seat across from his desk. The chair creaks under my weight, and I realize I've lost about 10 pounds in the past month. Stress diet. I need advice, I say. Legal or illegal? Legal, mostly. Mike sets down his calculator and gives me his full attention. Talk to me. I tell him everything. The affair, the messages, the public humiliation at Laurie's. Mike listens without interruption, his expression growing darker with each detail. Bastard, he says when I finish. And your buddies knew? Apparently. That's the part that would kill me, not just the cheating. The fact that everyone's laughing behind your back. Exactly. The betrayal cuts deep, but the humiliation is worse. Being the last to know, the fool who couldn't see what was happening in his own house. So what do? I ask. Mike leans back in his chair, thinking. You got a few options. Take the high road, file for divorce, split everything 50-50, try to maintain some dignity. Or you make them pay. All of them. Your wife, her boyfriend, and the friends who stabbed you in the back. He pauses. But if you go that route, you better be prepared for war, because that's what it'll be. I'm tired of being the nice guy, Mike. Where has it gotten me? I hear you. But listen, whatever you do, keep it legal. The system's already stacked against guys like us. Don't give them an excuse to destroy you completely. We shake hands, and I head home to an empty house. Erica's working late again. Or at least that's what her text says. Sammy's out with friends, living her carefree college life. I pour myself 3 fingers of bourbon and sit in my recliner, staring at the family photos on the mantel. 20 years of memories, all of them lies now. The happy couple on their wedding day. The proud parents at Sammy's graduation. The family vacation to the Grand Canyon where we actually seemed to enjoy each other's company. When did it all go wrong? When did I become the obstacle in Erica's life instead of her partner? My phone buzzes. A notification from the dash cam. Erica's car is parked at the Marriott again, same room as last week. I switch to the live feed and watch my wife walk across the parking lot, her hips swaying in that way that used to be just for me. She's carrying an overnight bag. An overnight bag means she's not coming home tonight. It means she's crossed another line, gotten bolder, stopped caring about maintaining the pretense. It also means I have all night to plan my next move. I open my laptop and start researching Jake Miller's business partners, his clients, his social media presence. If he wants to play games with my family, I'll show him what a real game looks like. By dawn, I have a plan. It's not pretty, and it's not particularly noble. But it's thorough, and it's going to hurt. All of them. 3 days later, I'm sitting in Flanagan's pub with Danny Reeves and Pat Morrison, 3 beers deep and pretending everything is normal. It's our usual Thursday night tradition, has been for almost 10 years, but tonight feels different. Tonight, I'm hunting. Danny's nervous, fidgeting with his wedding ring and avoiding eye contact. Pat keeps checking his phone like he's expecting an escape call. They know I know, even if they don't know that I know they know. So, I say, taking a long drink, anything interesting happening around town? Not really, Danny says too quickly. Same old boring stuff. Really? Because I heard Jake Miller's been making quite an impression at Laurie's. Pat chokes on his beer. Danny's face goes pale. I don't know what you mean, Pat says. Sure you do. You were there 2 weeks ago when he was bragging about screwing some lawyer's wife. My wife. The silence stretches between us like a loaded gun. Finally, Danny speaks up. Tommy, we wanted to tell you, but you didn't. It's complicated. No, it's not. I lean forward, keeping my voice low and steady. My wife is cheating on me. You both knew about it. And instead of telling me, you let me walk around this town like a fool while everyone laughed behind my back. Pat tries to recover. We weren't sure it was true. You know how Jake talks. He showed pictures, Pat. Lori told me. Danny slumps in his chair. We didn't know what to do. We thought maybe it would blow over. Or maybe you thought it was funny. Poor old Tom can't even keep his own wife satisfied. That's not fair, Danny says, but there's no conviction in his voice. You want to know what's not fair? 20 years of friendship, and you couldn't make one phone call, one text, one hint that my marriage was falling apart. I stand up, throwing a 20 on the table. Don't worry about it, guys. I know where your loyalty lies now. Tommy, wait. But I'm already walking away, leaving them sitting there with their guilt and their excuses. The night air is cold against my face, but it feels good. Cleansing. My phone buzzes, another dash cam notification. Erica's at the Marriott again, but this time she's not alone. Jake's Porsche is there, along with another car I don't recognize. A red Honda Civic. I check the license plate against my contacts. It belongs to Cynthia Walsh, Erica's best friend, and the HR manager at her law firm. The woman who's been covering for Erica's late nights and business trips. Interesting. I drive to the hotel and park across the street, using my phone to zoom in on their room. The curtains are partially open, and I can see movement inside. 3 figures laughing and drinking wine like they're celebrating something. They are celebrating. They're celebrating how clever they are, how they've managed to fool the stupid husband. They're probably planning their next move, figuring out how to string me along until Erica can file for divorce on her terms. But I'm done being strung along. I wait until they're distracted, then walk across the parking lot to Jake's Porsche. The car alarm isn't set. Arrogant bastard probably thinks he's untouchable. I pop the hood and disconnect the battery cables, then let the air out of 2 tires. Not enough to be obvious, just enough to be inconvenient. Then I leave a note under his windshield wiper. You left your wallet in my wife's purse, Tom. Let him chew on that for a while. The next morning, I'm in my garage when Erica comes storming in. Her hair is disheveled, her makeup smeared, and she's still wearing yesterday's clothes. She looks like she's been up all night, which she has. What the hell did you do? She demands. Good morning to you too, honey. How was your business conference? Don't play games with me, Tom. Jake's car was vandalized last night. That's terrible. Did he call the police? She studies my face, looking for tells, but I've been practicing in the mirror, and my expression gives nothing away. He thinks you did it. Why would he think that? Because of the note you left. What note? The one about his wallet being in my purse. I laugh, a genuine sound that seems to surprise her. That's ridiculous. Why would Jake Miller's wallet be in your purse? She realizes she's walked into a trap, but it's too late to back out. It wouldn't be. That's not the point. Then what is the point, Erica? Why would some random consultant think I have a problem with him? She opens her mouth, then closes it again. There's no good answer that doesn't involve admitting to the affair. I don't know, she says finally. Maybe he's paranoid. Maybe he's got a guilty conscience about something. Her eyes narrow. What are you implying? I'm not implying anything. I'm just saying that innocent people don't usually assume their cars are being vandalized by specific individuals unless they've done something to deserve it. She turns and storms out, but not before I catch the fear in her eyes. The calculation. She's wondering how much I know, how much I suspect. She's about to find out. The beauty of small-town life is that everyone knows everyone else's business. The curse of small-town life is that everyone knows everyone else's business. Today, I'm counting on the beauty part. I start with Mrs. Eleanor Elwell, our 73-year-old neighbor who spends her days watching the street through her front window like it's her personal reality show. She's got opinions about everything and the social media skills of someone half her age. Morning, Mrs. Elwell, I call out as I'm checking my mailbox. She practically sprints to her front door. Oh, Tom, I've been meaning to talk to you. What about? She glances around conspiratorially, then beckons me closer. I've been seeing some strange cars in your driveway lately. when Erica's not home. This is interesting. Strange how? Well, there was that silver sports car last Tuesday. Stayed for about an hour, and then yesterday I saw a red Honda parked there around lunchtime. Jake's Porsche and Cynthia's Civic. They're getting bolder, more careless, meeting at my house while I'm at work. That is strange, I say. Did you get a look at who was driving? The Honda was that friend of Erica's, Cynthia something. But the sports car... She shakes her head. Some young man in a fancy suit, very flashy. Probably work-related, I say. You know how lawyers are. Mrs. Elwell gives me a look that says she knows exactly what kind of work is being conducted in my house. Of course, dear, work. I thank her and head inside, my mind racing. They're using my house now. My bed, probably. The disrespect is staggering, but it's also useful. It means they're getting sloppy, leaving evidence. I spend the morning installing hidden cameras in the bedroom and living room. Nothing illegal, it's my house, and I have every right to monitor my own property. The cameras are motion-activated and stream directly to a cloud server that only I can access. Then, I drive to Cynthia's office. Walsh & Associates is a mid-tier HR consulting firm that handles employee disputes and workplace harassment cases. The irony isn't lost on me. Cynthia makes her living protecting companies from intimate misconduct while helping my wife conduct an extramarital affair. The receptionist is young and eager to please. I'm here to see Cynthia Walsh, I tell her. It's about a potential harassment situation at my wife's law firm. 5 minutes later, I'm sitting across from Cynthia in her sterile office, watching her try to maintain her professional composure while her personal life implodes. Tom, this is unexpected, she says. I bet it is. I wanted to talk to you about Erica. Cynthia's hand moves instinctively to her phone, probably wanting to warn my wife. What about her? I'm concerned about her workload. All these late nights, weekend conferences, business trips. It's affecting our marriage. I see. And you think I can help how? You're her best friend. You probably know her schedule better than I do. Cynthia shifts uncomfortably. I don't really keep track of Erica's appointments. Really? Because my neighbor saw your car at my house yesterday afternoon. I was at work. Erica was supposedly in court, but there you were. The color drains from her face. I was just dropping something off. What? Some files. For a case she's working on. Which case? She fumbles for an answer. The Morrison account. I smile. Cynthia, there is no Morrison account. I made that up. She stares at me, realizing she's been caught in a lie. Tom, I think there's been a misunderstanding. The only misunderstanding is that you thought I was too stupid to figure out what's going on. I lean forward. How long have you been covering for her affair? I don't know what you're talking about. Jake Miller. Ring a bell? Her poker face crumbles completely. Tom, please. It's not what you think. It's exactly what I think. My wife is screwing around with some consultant, you're helping her cover it up, and the three of you are laughing about how you're pulling one over on the dumb mechanic. Tears start forming in her eyes. It's not like that. Then what is it like? She looks around her office like she's trapped, which she is. Erica's going through a difficult time. She feels unappreciated, unfulfilled. So she decided to start sleeping with someone else. It's more complicated than that. No, it's not. It's the oldest story in the world. Bored wife, smooth-talking stranger, loyal friend who enables the whole thing. I stand up. The only question is why you're involved. What do you get out of helping destroy my marriage? Cynthia doesn't answer, but she doesn't need to. I can see it in her eyes. Jealousy. She's always resented Erica's success, her happy marriage, her perfect life. Helping orchestrate its destruction gives her a sense of power, of control. I want you to give Erica a message, I say. Tell her the game is over. Tell her I know everything. And tell her that if she wants to keep playing, she better be prepared for the consequences. I walk out, leaving Cynthia sitting in her office with her guilt and her fear. By now, she's probably calling Erica, warning her that I'm onto them. Good, let them panic. Let them make mistakes. My phone buzzes with a motion alert from the bedroom camera. Someone's in my house. I drive home at exactly the speed limit, taking my time, letting the anticipation build. When I pull into the driveway, Jake's Porsche is parked in my spot like he owns the place. The front door is unlocked. I can hear voices from upstairs, Erica and Jake, arguing about something. Their voices carry down the hallway, and I catch fragments of conversation. Told you this was getting too risky. He doesn't know anything for sure. Cynthia said he was asking questions. Just need to be more careful. I walk upstairs slowly, my footsteps deliberately loud on the hardwood. The voices stop immediately. "Honey, I'm home," I call out. Erica appears at the top of the stairs, fully dressed but flustered. "Tom, you're early?" "Slow day at the shop. Who's here?" "Jake stopped by to drop off some contracts." "In our bedroom?" She glances back nervously. "We were just reviewing them privately." Jake emerges from the bedroom, adjusting his tie. He's got that corporate smile plastered on his face, but I can see the nervousness underneath. "Tom, good to finally meet you. I've heard so much about you." "I bet you have." "Jake Miller, right? The consultant." "That's right." He extends his hand and I shake it, squeezing just a little too hard. "Your wife speaks very highly of you." "Does she?" "That's nice to hear." I look between them, enjoying their discomfort. "So what kind of contracts require bedroom privacy?" "Confidential client information," Erica says quickly. "Attorney-client privilege." "Of course. Well, don't let me interrupt your legal work." Jake clears his throat. "Actually, I should get going. Busy day ahead." He practically runs down the stairs and out the front door. Erica follows more slowly, trying to maintain some dignity. "I'll call you about those contracts," she calls after him. "I'm sure you will," I say. She turns to face me, and for a moment I see a flicker of the woman I married. The guilt, the shame, the knowledge that she's crossed a line she can't uncross. "Tom, we need to talk." "Yes, we do. But not today. Today, I think you should pack a bag and stay at Cynthia's house. Give us both some space to think." "You're throwing me out?" "I'm giving you what you want. Freedom to conduct your business without worrying about your boring husband getting in the way." She stares at me for a long moment, then nods. Maybe that's for the best. 30 minutes later, she's gone. The house feels different without her, not empty, but cleaner somehow, like an infection has been removed. I pour myself a drink and review the footage from the bedroom camera. It's all there. Jake and Erica in my bed, in my house, planning their next moves while I was supposed to be safely at work. But the most interesting part isn't the affair itself. It's what they're talking about afterward. Erica's divorce plans, Jake's financial problems, Cynthia's role in orchestrating the whole thing, and something else. Something that changes everything. Cynthia isn't just covering for the affair, she's the one who started it. She introduced Jake to Erica specifically to break up our marriage, to get revenge for something that happened years ago, something I'd completely forgotten about until now. 5 years ago, I caught Cynthia embezzling money from her previous employer. Instead of turning her in, I gave her a chance to make it right. She paid the money back, quit quietly, and started her own consulting firm. She's been planning this revenge for 5 years. The game just got a lot more interesting. Saturday morning brings the kind of cold that cuts through your jacket and settles in your bones. I'm sitting in my truck outside Jake's apartment complex, sipping coffee that tastes like regret, and watching the silver Porsche that's become the symbol of my humiliation. Jake lives in one of those modern complexes that tries too hard to look upscale, all glass and chrome and fake luxury. The kind of place that attracts people who want to seem successful without actually earning it. My phone shows 3 missed calls from Erica and a dozen text messages that I haven't bothered to read. She spent the night at Cynthia's, probably planning their next move, figuring out how to manage the situation now that I'm openly suspicious. But they don't know what I know. They don't know about the cameras, the recorded conversations, the evidence I've been gathering for weeks. They think they're still in control. They're about to learn otherwise. Jake emerges from his building at 9:30, looking like he's dressed for a photo shoot. Even on Saturday morning, he's wearing a designer sweater and perfectly pressed khakis. The man probably irons his underwear. He climbs into the Porsche and heads toward downtown. I follow at a distance, curious about his weekend plans. Does he have other married women on his schedule? Other families to destroy? He pulls into the parking lot of an upscale brunch place called the Garden Terrace. Through the windows, I can see Erica and Cynthia already seated at a corner table. A strategy meeting disguised as a social gathering. I park across the street and use my phone's Zoom function to watch their body language. Erica looks stressed, gesturing emphatically while she talks. Cynthia appears calm, controlled, like she's running the meeting. Jake keeps checking his phone and looking around nervously. They're scared. Good. My own phone buzzes with a call from an unknown number. I consider ignoring it, then decide to answer. Tom Forrest. Mr. Forrest, this is Detective Ray Bell with the Sunset Heights Police. I'd like to speak with you about some recent vandalism incidents. My blood goes cold. What kind of incidents? Damage to a vehicle belonging to Jake Miller. He seems to think you might have information about it. Ray Bell. I remember him from high school. We boxed together in the PAL League. He was a decent kid then, but 25 years in law enforcement can change a person. I don't know anything about vandalism, I say. Could you come down to the station, just to clear things up? It's not really a request. I'll be there in 20 minutes. I hang up and look back toward the restaurant. Jake is on his phone now, probably talking to his lawyer or filing another complaint. Erica and Cynthia are leaning forward, their conversation intense. They're trying to turn me into the villain, paint me as the unstable husband who can't handle his wife's success, who lashes out with petty vandalism and threats. The police station hasn't changed much since I was a kid. Same institutional green paint, same smell of disinfectant and despair. Ray Bell meets me in the lobby, and I'm surprised by how much he's aged. His hair is mostly gray now, and he's carrying about 30 extra pounds. Tom, thanks for coming in. Ray, been a while. He leads me to an interview room that's designed to make people uncomfortable. Hard chairs, bright lights, no windows. The kind of place where guilty consciences go to confess. So, Ray says, settling into his chair, Jake Miller says you've been harassing him. How so? Following him around town, vandalizing his car, leaving threatening notes. That's quite an accusation. Does he have any proof? Ray opens a file folder and slides a photograph across the table. It's the note I left on Jake's windshield. You left your wallet in my wife's purse. Recognize this? I study the note like I've never seen it before. Interesting handwriting. Not mine, though. Jake says it is. Jake says a lot of things, doesn't make them true. Ray leans back in his chair. Tom, I'm going to level with you. Off the record, man to man, I know what's going on here. What's going on where? With your wife, with this Miller guy. Small town, word gets around. I don't respond, just wait for him to continue. Look, I get it. Some slick outsider moves in on your territory, starts messing with your family. Natural to want to push back, but you gotta be smart about it. I am being smart about it. Are you? Because from where I sit, it looks like you're letting your emotions get the better of you, and that's going to end badly for everyone. I lean forward. Ray, let me ask you something. If someone was screwing your wife, bragging about it in public, making you look like a fool in front of the whole town, what would you do? His expression softens slightly. I'd probably want to kick his ass. But you wouldn't. No, because I'd know that the system is designed to protect guys like him and screw guys like us. The minute we step out of line, we become the bad guys. He's right, and we both know it. Jake can destroy my marriage, humiliate me publicly, turn my friends against me, and face no consequences. But the moment I fight back, I'm the criminal. So, what are you telling me? I ask. I'm telling you to be careful, very careful. Because Jake Miller isn't just some random consultant. He's got connections, money, the kind of resources that can make your life very difficult if you give him a reason. What kind of connections? Ray glances toward the door, then lowers his voice. His uncle is Judge Robert Miller, family court, the guy who decides custody cases, alimony payments, property divisions. The pieces click into place. Jake isn't just after my wife. He's after everything I've built, the house, the business, access to my daughter. This isn't just an affair. It's a calculated attack designed to leave me with nothing. Thanks for the heads up, I say. Don't thank me. Just don't do anything stupid. I leave the police station with a new understanding of what I'm up against. This isn't just about revenge anymore. It's about survival. My phone shows 6 new messages from Erica. I finally decide to read them. We need to talk. I know you're angry, but this doesn't have to get ugly. Think about Sammy. She doesn't need to see her parents destroy each other. I'm willing to work something out. Be reasonable. Tom, please call me. We can fix this. Don't make me get lawyers involved. There it is. The threat wrapped in concern. The velvet glove hiding the iron fist. I text back, come home tonight. 8 p.m., come alone. Her response is immediate. Okay, thank you. She thinks she's won, thinks I'm ready to negotiate, to accept whatever scraps she's willing to throw me. She has no idea what's coming. At 7:45 p.m., I'm sitting in my living room with a bourbon in my hand and 20 years of evidence spread across the coffee table. Bank statements showing the money I invested in Erica's law school education, mortgage papers proving I put up the down payment for our house, business records documenting how I built my auto shop from nothing while she climbed the corporate ladder. Everything we have, everything we are, started with my work, my sacrifice, my belief in us as a team. The front door opens at exactly 8 o'clock. Erica walks in looking like she's dressed for a negotiation. Professional blazer, conservative skirt, her lawyer armor. She's brought a briefcase, probably full of divorce papers and custody agreements drawn up by Jake's uncle. Thank you for agreeing to talk, she says, taking the chair across from me. Before we start, I have something for you. I hand her a manila envelope. She opens it carefully, and her face goes pale as she sees the contents. Photos of her and Jake at the hotel, screenshots of their text messages, financial records showing Jake's debts and failed businesses. How did you get these? You'd be surprised what you can learn when you actually pay attention. She sets the envelope aside, trying to regain her composure. Tom, I know this looks bad, but it looks like what it is. My wife of 19 years having an affair with a con man who sees her as a meal ticket. It's not like that. Then what is it like? Explain it to me. She takes a deep breath, and for a moment I think she might actually tell the truth. I've been unhappy for a long time. We've grown apart. Jake makes me feel alive again. Jake makes you feel like a mark. Do you know he's done this before? Twice. 2 other married women, both successful professionals, both divorced and financially ruined after their affairs with him. That's not true. I slide another document across the table. Court records. Linda Patterson, marketing executive from Chicago. Sarah Chen, doctor from Milwaukee. Both had affairs with Jake Miller. Both lost everything in their divorces when their husbands found out about the cheating. Erica studies the papers, and I can see the doubt creeping in. This could be coincidence. Could be. Or Jake could be running the same scam here that he's run everywhere else. Seduce the successful wife, get her to finance his lifestyle, then disappear when the money runs out. You're just trying to turn me against him. I'm trying to save you from making the biggest mistake of your life. She laughs bitterly. Save me? Tom, you can't even save yourself. When's the last time you tried to better yourself, to grow, to be the kind of man a successful woman needs? There it is, the real truth. I'm not good enough for her anymore. The blue-collar husband who put her through law school is now an embarrassment to her professional image. You're right, I say. I'm not the kind of man you need, but Jake isn't either. He's the kind of man who destroys women like you for sport. I don't believe that. Then marry him, divorce me, take half of everything and start your new life with your consultant boyfriend. I lean forward. But I want you to know what you're giving up. I hand her another envelope, this one thicker. Inside are copies of every love letter she ever wrote me, every anniversary card, every photo from our early years together when we were actually happy. Remember this woman? I ask, pointing to a picture of us from our honeymoon. She loved a mechanic. She thought he was the most amazing man in the world. She couldn't wait to build a life with him. Tears start forming in her eyes. That was a long time ago. It was yesterday. That woman is still in there somewhere, buried under years of ambition and social climbing and whatever poison Cynthia's been whispering in your ear. Cynthia? What does she have to do with this? Everything. I slide the final document across the table. She's the one who introduced you to Jake. She's the one who's been covering for your affair. And she's the one who's been planning this whole thing for 5 years. The document is a printout of emails between Cynthia and Jake, dating back 6 months before Erica's affair started. Plans to target my wife specifically, discussions about my financial assets, strategies for destroying our marriage. Erica reads in silence, her face growing paler with each page. This can't be real. It's all real. Your best friend has been planning your divorce since the day she met you. The affair, the lies, the public humiliation, it's all been orchestrated to get revenge on me for something that happened years ago. What did you do? I caught her stealing from her previous employer. Instead of turning her in, I gave her a chance to make it right. She paid the money back and started her own business. I pause. Apparently, she didn't appreciate my mercy. Erica stares at the papers, her whole world crumbling around her. The affair she thought was about love and passion and finding herself was actually about revenge and manipulation and greed. I need to call Jake, she says finally. Go ahead, but he's not going to answer. What do you mean? I check my watch. About an hour ago, copies of all this evidence were delivered to his biggest clients, his business partners, and his uncle the judge. Jake Miller's consulting business just died, and his family connections won't save him from fraud charges. Her phone starts ringing, then mine, then hers again. Word is spreading fast through Sunset Heights gossip network. You destroyed him, she whispers. I exposed him. There's a difference. And Cynthia? Her clients received copies of the emails showing how she helped orchestrate an extramarital affair. HR consultants aren't supposed to be in the business of breaking up marriages. Erica slumps in her chair, the fight going out of her. So what now? Now you decide. Do you want to try to rebuild what we had, or do you want to go down with the ship? She looks around our living room, at the photos on the mantel, the furniture we picked out together, the life we built over 2 decades. Can you forgive me? She asks. I don't know. Can you forgive yourself? Before she can answer, headlights sweep across our front window. A car door slams, and heavy footsteps approach the house. Jake Miller bursts through our front door without knocking, his perfect hair disheveled, his designer clothes wrinkled. He looks like a man whose carefully constructed world has just collapsed. You bastard! He screams, lunging toward me. I stand up calmly, 20 years of boxing training taking over. Jake swings wildly, but he's never been in a real fight. I duck his punch easily and grab him by the shirt, spinning him around and slamming him face first into the wall. Get off me, he yells, but there's no strength behind it. You're trespassing, I say, applying just enough pressure to keep him pinned. And assault, in front of a witness. Erica is on her feet now, staring at Jake like she's seeing him for the first time. The smooth corporate facade is gone, replaced by the desperate flailing of a caught predator. "Erica, tell him," Jake pleads. "Tell him we're in love. Tell him you're leaving him." She doesn't answer, and in that silence, Jake realizes he's lost everything. "You ruined my life," he says to me. "No, I just stopped you from ruining anyone else's." I release him and step back. Jake straightens his clothes, trying to salvage some dignity. "This isn't over," he says. "Yes, it is. Your business is finished, your reputation is destroyed, and the police are probably looking for you by now. I'd suggest you leave town." Jake looks at Erica one last time. "I thought you were different. I thought you had backbone." "Get out," she says quietly. After he's gone, Erica and I stand in our living room, surrounded by the wreckage of our marriage and the evidence of our mutual betrayal. "What happens now?" she asks. I walk to the window and watch Jake's Porsche disappear into the night, probably forever. In the distance, I can see Mrs. Elwell's curtains twitching as she tries to get a better view of the drama. By tomorrow, the whole town will know the truth. The affair, the manipulation, the revenge plot that destroyed 3 lives and nearly destroyed a 4th. Now, I say, we find out if 20 years of marriage is stronger than 6 months of lies. Erica nods and sits back down, picking up one of our old photos. I don't know if I can face this town after what I've done. Then we'll face it together. Or we won't face it at all. She looks up at me with something that might be hope. "What do you mean?" "I mean, maybe it's time for both of us to start over. New town, new life, new chance to get it right. You'd do that? After everything?" I pour myself another bourbon and consider the question. The smart thing would be to cut my losses, file for divorce, and rebuild my life without her. But smart isn't the same as right, and right isn't the same as easy. "Ask me tomorrow," I say, "when we both know who we really are." Outside, the first snow of winter begins to fall, covering Sunset Heights in a blanket of white that makes everything look clean and new and full of possibility.